Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about the Brothers Grimm, starring Matt Damon and Heath Ledger as the Brothers Grimm. This is the story of the people who would eventually pen the stories made famous by the tales from the Brothers Grimm. Matt Damon plays the older of the two, the more cynical, while Heath Ledger plays the younger and more scholarly of the two. They grew up poor, dirt poor, and in an effort to get as much as they can from life, the more cynical of the brother decides to pursue a career in larceny. They turn into con men, and they base their cons on the folklore of the peasants in France and Germany and the Low Countries around there. But in the process of doing this, the scholarly brother begins to record all of the legends and the myths that they encounter, which eventually will become the stories of the Brothers Grimm. And their plan works out fairly well. They move from place to place, scamming people along with the help of two able assistants. And everything looks like it's going to be just fine and dandy until they run afoul of the law. And they're pretty much given an option. They can help to actually discover if something's really going wrong in a certain village, or they can be killed. They choose the former option. And they go to find out why girls are disappearing from a small village. And of course, they're con men. They're prepared to bilk the yokels out of their hard-earned cash, do some kind of flim-flam, get themselves out of the fix they're in, and then skedaddle to the next town where they'll do it all over again. Except they encounter an actual supernatural event. I'm not spoiling anything for anyone. I'm sure this film came out in 2005. I'm sure actually this would probably spoil just by the trailer, though I haven't seen it since the film came out originally. In fact, I hadn't seen this film at all since the original theatrical release until I watched it Friday night with my wife with commentary. And so they go out into the forest to, along with an able guide named Lena Headey, to find out what the actual cause of the mysterious disappearances are. And they find, much to their chagrin, that it's actually supernatural forces. What I found very cool is that they use a nice mix of conventional special effects and digital special effects. And the trees move. At first, it's very subtle, but later, they actually pick the roots up and they go... It was very disconcerting. It was quite pleasant. And of course, there were crows flying everywhere, both real ones and CGI crows. And they were like, evil messengers of the evil witches living in the forest. Now, they wove a number of the classic myths into this film. Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel. All of these were woven in very well. It was quite pleasant to watch it. It was, in some ways, it was almost an homage to these older myths. I was quite pleased by it. They built the entire forest that this film takes place in, on a soundstage, so that they could control the lighting and their shooting schedule, and that was very cool. Just imagine this. This is a big set, and they built this thing. And all the outside shots were done in Prague, and Prague just sounds like a great place to go for atmosphere, man. There's so many films being done there because it's inexpensive, and there's so many wonderful old movies. It's great. Old buildings and such. And, of course, an adventure takes place. Dairy doing takes place. Bad guys, good guys. An evil witch played by Monica Bellucci, who is quite possibly the most beautiful and sexy woman in film today. And, of course, the love interest with Lena Headey, because our two main characters are dashing and handsome. So, overall, it was an entertaining film. I thought it was entertaining the first time I saw it. I thought it was entertaining now. However, I wasn't impressed by it the first time I saw it, and I couldn't figure out why, and I finally nailed it down, I think. The pacing is just off. It's slow. It doesn't move well. It also doesn't engage me emotionally. I didn't care about these people at all. I should have, but I didn't. The acting is quite well done. I just think that they didn't have enough to work with. The commentary was interesting in the fact they were talking about how the sets were designed and how the problems they had. They had a supporting actor died during the filming, so they had to reschedule how things were shot. They had some very well trained, very important horse die on them on the set itself. It wasn't a lucky set, but I recommend this if you like, 18th century kind of films and you like a little mystery and some fairy tale kind of thing. Heath Ledger and Matt Damon do an excellent job. Lena Headey does a nice job. She's probably much more well known for her role in 300 as the wife of Leonidas. But I can't say I was thrilled by this. I wasn't overwhelmed, but I was entertained.